Some do.
Good morning. Oh, good evening. Somebody is confused. It is evening, and good evening, everybody. We're just going to wait a few more minutes for people to all join us. I must confess that Dean Helm was in this room with me about 5 minutes ago, and I had a technical issue and went mute for no reason whatsoever. So he used his good humanistic skills to coach me through a solution.
Sign language. I use sign language.
Exactly. Well, I don't see that anybody else is in the waiting room. All right. Well, with no further ado, I will go ahead and welcome you to the first ever Zoom induction meeting for the Gold Humanism Honor Society. I meant to look this up and I'm sorry I didn't, but I believe the Gold Humanism Honor Society, GHHS is so much easier to say, was started at DMU around, I can't remember if it's 2008 or 2010. But you guys are the class of 2022 and you're being inducted in 2021. So I welcome you all, and we'll be learning a lot more about you as the day goes on. I made a little slideshow, so bear with me if I totally lose everybody. I apologize, but I just wanted to kind of show. Are you able to see the slides? Are you able to see a blue slide? Good, thank you very much. Wonderful. So as I stated, this is our first ever virtual induction ceremony, and normally this would have occurred in person during CCA week, but because we had sort of a different CCA week, thank you COVID, and people weren't necessarily in the Des Moines area, we decided to do the Zoom induction ceremony as well. So with no further ado, I'm going to figure out how to move my slides. Great. There we go. This is a look at what will be happening tonight. We're just going to see a short video, I think it's about 5 minutes, that will sort of explain to you and your friends and family members. And I'm so excited to see so many friends and family members here in the room with us, what the Gold Humanism Honor Society is. And then we'll hear from Dr. Schnartz representing GHHS as he serves on one of the national committees. And then we'll have some comments from our dean. And then we will meet all of you. We'll do a little oath and then you'll officially be in. So let's go ahead and start the video. Oh, sorry. One more slide. Just a little background. The Gold Foundation was created, they created the Honor Society in 2002, and this was basically to recognize everyone in healthcare, from the physician to the medical student and everyone in between who, you know, residents, et cetera, who really model what it is to be a complete physician. A complete physician, not just taking care of the medical illness or the diseased body, but also the soul of the patient and caring for that patient as an individual and showing great empathy and humanism. So you're joining a community of champions of humanism. No pressure, but we expect you to have all good days, all professionally wonderful days from now on. No room for error. I'm kidding, of course. We are all human. But you are joining a community of physicians and residents and medical students from all over the world. I can't see my screen, but I believe, oh, we now have more than 35,000 members. So I'm going to go ahead and pop over to the waiting room and let these people in. Okay, how do I do that? Oh boy, admit all. wonder if I can just close the waiting room. Somebody probably knows Zoom a little better than I would who might know that. Okay, so with no further ado, and I apologize to those who are just joining us, you missed my fantastically chaotic intro. But let's go ahead and watch this video. And I pray you can hear it when it starts. I pray it starts. And I pray you can hear it. Okay. How about we go? Success.
A little while ago, I had a patient whose name was Andrew. And I was showing a young pre-med student around. And I said, Andrew, you have a young future doctor in front of you. What do you want to tell her? And he said, listen to your patient. Touch your patient. We're more than the results in the computer. We're more than what the monitor reads.
I was having a very difficult pregnancy and was on bed rest for a number of months. I was finally able to have another exam in the doctor's office. And when he did the exam, he checked for the baby's heartbeat, and there was none. And he turned to me and said, I don't hear a heartbeat. I think the baby's dead. I'll see you tomorrow morning in the hospital. So cold, no connection, no understanding. That was 40 years ago, and it still hurts.
You can be incredibly smart and brilliant physician, but if you can't relate to people, you have failed in your duty to be the very best physician you can be.
At first, being a scientific person and being very evidence-based, I didn't really think that compassion helped outcome. I thought, well, compassion's nice, but does it really make a difference? And I've witnessed how it makes a difference, and so that's really changed the way I want to practice care.
The Gold Humanism Honor Society was created to recognize exemplars of the kind of doctoring that we all want for ourselves.
What a pretty dress. Where did you get this dress?
What the Gold Humanism Honor Society does, it recognizes excellent students and faculty that have those characteristics of humanism. Why? Because we want every single student to realize that's a goal that you must try to achieve.
Good to see you this morning. It makes a stand and says, this is an important part of our medical curriculum.
You have to listen to and learn from your patients.
I have been a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society for a year now and was elected by my classmates, which I think was probably the greatest honor of medical school.
After becoming a member of the Gold Humanism Honor Society, I became exposed to mentors and national leaders in medicine that make humanistic medicine a frontline treatment in patient care.
It's not just one day I got this award and that's it and I'll just look back on it and say thanks, but it's a constant reminder for the future.
Well, it's nice to talk with you.
Of how I want to be as a physician.
Okay, I understand.
The society serves as a model of what we're striving for. That you want to be the very best doctor you can be, and at the same time have this humanistic approach to interacting with patients. That's what the Honor Society is about.
I should unmute myself. All right. So that was just a very fast little video, and I'm pretty sure it was produced maybe more than a decade ago from the appearance, but I do think it definitely told what the society is all about. So hopefully you learned a little bit. And now I want to hear, and I think we all want to hear from Dr. Schnartz about his involvement with the society and what it's meant in his career and what he thinks that we all will get out of it.
Well, thank you, Dr. Parrott. First off, it is a true honor to welcome all of you and your families to this induction ceremony into the Gold Humanism Society. I am actually relatively new to DMU. I'm not new to the Gold Society. I was elected as a faculty member at the University of Nebraska by the medical students, and am currently on the committee for medical student wellness at a national level. And so as physicians, we all swear the Hippocratic Oath, which includes, among other things, the promise to share knowledge, to help the sick, to keep what patients tell us confidential, and most of all, to do no harm. You will recall that you took this oath during the white coat ceremony at the beginning of medical school. Do you guys recall that? And that was a big day. That was a big day, I think, for everyone when you get your white coats. But today, your peers have recognized you as someone who has gone beyond these basic expectations, as someone who places the interests, the values, and the dignity of all people at the core of your practice of medicine. Our logo, which is behind us, I'm duck out of the way so you can see it, is a golden mobulus loop, also known as the infinity sign. And this symbolizes the continuous bond of trust, respect, and communication that connects doctors to their patients and patients to their doctors. While it is an honor to be inducted, this honor comes with a solemn obligation to put your patients at the center of all you do. And when you talk to first-year medical students, it seems that at first glance, this would be an easy task. But in the years to come, your commitment to this ideal will be tested, and tested almost daily and under the most arduous of circumstances. In my case, I'm a trauma surgeon, and I'm tested almost nightly when I am physically and emotionally exhausted at the end of a difficult surgery, when the equipment hasn't functioned well, and the outcome was not what I had hoped. At moments like this, there is certainly a tempting desire to put yourself and not the patient at the center. As you can see, I'm a fairly big boy. And after a long 10, 12-hour operation, I'm ready for a snack. I'll be honest. But the reason that you don't go that route and you do the right thing is because being a member of Gold Humanism means you live a life according to the philosophy of that when you're faced with two choices, the more difficult one, the one of placing the patient and their family first, always is the right thing. And in truth, I can only do this, not because I'm any sort of super role model, but I've been surrounded by peers who believe the same thing I do. Today, your peers have recognized and elected you into a group that puts the patient and their family at the center. And those who are being inducted alongside of you, as you look to your right and your left on the screen, will be there to support you when you are tempted to make the easy choice. And so I congratulate each and every one of you. This is a huge honor, and you are joining a fraternity that is well respected across the entire spectrum of medical practice, from medical students to residents through faculty. So I welcome you all, and congratulations to each of you and your families.
Thank you, Dr. Schnartz. And now we will hear from Dean Stephen Helm. Dean Helm, what would you say to these young people?
Good evening, everybody and families, students, and my fellow colleagues. I'll tell you, this is exciting. I am particularly proud and just thrilled to be here to share this time with you. I don't think I gave your white coat ceremony presentation. I think I was the next year was kind of my initial one. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my presentation from 2 years ago. I've changed it, and I'm actually changing it this week for the new incoming students. So, but it has the same message. And it relates to everything that Arnold P. Gold had in his heart. And I call it my big four, and I preach these big four things. And I hope you remember one or two of them as you develop and grow your practice, your own personal style of connecting with patients. The first thing is to smile. Smile appropriately. You look at anybody on this screen right now, Dr. Beatty is always smiling, and I'm jealous. I wish I smiled that much. I have to naturally kind of force myself to smile because in my heart, I'm really happy. But on the outside, sometimes I look pretty stern. But I want everybody to know that patients are looking at you, and you know that already. They are watching every step that you make. And not that you have to be paranoid, but you have to be, positive for them. And that smile has to be appropriate for the situation. When you're conveying sad news, bad news to patients, you smile supportively. You don't smile with a giddy kind of laugh like you might if you're delivering a baby and you're presenting the baby to the parent. I've been in hundreds of C-sections resuscitating the baby. And that is one of the most joyous things of my practice, I think, in my 30 years of practice. Every time that's exciting. So try to be positive, and always remember to smile with patients. They will pick up on that, and it becomes somewhat infectious. Number two is to make good eye contact. I hate Zoom because it's really hard to make good eye contact by looking into the camera when you're all over here on the screen. So I've created this little, I've had it on here for 2 years on my camera, this little invention of mine with a sticky note that is taped there with 2 eyes on it, so that I can kind of look at the eyes and at least have a chance of making eye contact with my people I'm talking to. Really, really important with patients. Number 3 is to shake people's hands, touch people. Despite all the mess that COVID has given us and transmitting illness and making us a little paranoid about touching them, remember that alcohol sanitizer does tremendous things against a lot of bugs. Trust it. Soap and water, use it a lot, and shake people's hands. Okay. I encourage you to touch people because it really makes you special. It makes you different. It makes you an outstanding physician. The last thing, the fourth thing, is to listen to patients, to really listen to patients. That's probably one of the most difficult things that you'll do, especially as you advance your career. The empathy tends to fade away. The patience in your heart tends to fade away, especially when you're doing those 10-hour surgeries and you have 3 pages backed up that you've got to answer still. And then you have 2 admissions in the emergency department to take care of. It can be trying, but always listen to patients. Lab tests and physical exams are all important, but Sir William Osler, the father of modern medicine, said, listen to your patient. They are telling you the diagnosis. So if you don't know and can't come up with a diagnosis, you're confused, go back to the basics and listen to the patient. So smile appropriately, make good eye contact, shake people's hands, and really listen with your heart. So if you can remember any one of those four, I've done my job. I want you to know how proud I am of you and honored I am to be your dean, and I will be there for your graduation. Do not doubt that. I will be there. Thank you, Dr. Parrott.
Thank you, Dr. Helm. So I'm going to try to share my screen again, and please bear with, I'm an older person and I struggle with technology, so bear with me here. Oh boy. Okay. Are you all seeing a blue slide that says
Yes.
at Des Moines University? Good, thank you. Okay, so your class that is being inducted tonight will be the first, to my knowledge, at DMU history, or at least in recent years, that will implement a service project. As you recall, I have somebody in the waiting room. Admit. We asked you when you wrote your essay for the selection committee to read, we asked you to talk about how you might increase knowledge of not just humanism, but also this society among the first and second year DO class here on campus. And many of you wrote things that just blew us away, and we were astounded. And so what I tried to do was go through and just pick a little sentence or two out of each of the essays that really kind of spoke to the overall message there. So your elected co-directors are responsible for partnering with you guys to figure out what you want to do. And because you're all over the country, I think it probably should be a small service project that makes a huge impact. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and see the list of all of the names that will be inducted tonight. Now, I've heard from several of your classmates whose names are on this list who are unable to make this this ceremony tonight because the hospitals are, maybe you've read the news and you're medical students, so you probably don't have time to pay attention to the news, but the hospitals are kind of overflowing with really sick people. And so the fact that they felt like they should be helping their teams in the wards and not ducking out to attend the ceremony, I thought was a pretty good choice on their part. So we will certainly make them stand in front of a mirror and take the oath before they are officially in. But these are the names. Most of you are DO 2022 students. Kim Miller, who, as you all know, is a OMM fellow this year, will graduate with the next year's class, but she is going to be inducted to the society tonight as well. So without further ado, may I please introduce your co-directors? And this was by voting that you all did on the survey that I sent out. It seems like several months ago, but I think it was just a few weeks ago. Stephanie Abbott and Sydney Stanley have agreed to serve as your co-directors. Both of these students are incredibly busy, but they have agreed to make room in their hearts and in their calendars to help coordinate you guys and help decide what you want to do for your service project. And again, I don't really care what it is. I just think there should be something that we say, this is what Gold Humanism Honor Society did at DMU this year. So I picked out a couple of phrases, and I don't know, do you want me to read all of these? Do you want to read them yourselves? Tell me what you want. I'm happy to read them, but I'd just like to hear myself talk. So Kim, I'm going to put it up to you because Kim and I got to know each other this week. We did a little, well, was it last week? We did a little teaching moment over at Mercy Family Medicine Residency. So Kim, Do you think your classmates would prefer to just read these statements on their own, or would they like me to act them out?
I would say maybe read on our own.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
All right. That sounds fine. So are you sure? Because, okay.
I mean, did you have skits in mind, Dr. Parrott?
I had little puppets. No, I'm teasing. Okay. So one of the things that I really liked about all of the essays is that they all had a common theme, and the common theme is something that both Dr. Schnartz and Dean Helm said in their little talks. It's about connecting with the patient and learning who the patients are. I love the fact that Davis sent in a picture of himself with his dad, and he said, it's really important to me that this picture is shown on the slideshow. So here you go. Connecting with the patient. It's a theme that runs through listening, connecting, understanding putting yourself in their shoes. All of these kind of ran through. If I'm going too fast, slow me down. Kim, you don't have to slow me down. We'll pick on somebody else. Maybe Stephanie and Sydney should pop in and slow me down if I'm going too slow or too fast. Stephanie's laughing. She's like, I don't want this pressure. Well, you agreed to it. Oh, I went too far. There we go. And Charles is one who sent his regards. He also sent me a newer picture, but I'd already put the slideshow together. He was just too late. So, but he was unable to join us tonight because of being very, very busy in the hospital tonight. So. I feel like we should have some music. Dr. Schnartz, don't you play the guitar? Ukulele, something?
No, and I'm not even allowed to sing in the car. My family opens the windows even in the winter when I do that.
I really like this. The medical news they received that day will take a much bigger emotional toll on them than myself. That's really nice, Stephen. I'm glad that you noted that. Okay, these are long. I'll give you a little extra time. Sometimes I had to put things in parentheses to make it make sense because they were like following paragraphs that explained things. For those of you just joining us, the induction class of 2021 voted through Kim Miller that they wanted to read these on their own. And so I am not going to be reading them out loud, which is good for everybody, I think.
I do appreciate that you're giving highlights though of the things that you enjoyed.
Whoa, I missed one there. Nope. Okay. Erica is front and center on my screen. I don't know where she is on other screens. She's reading what she's like, oh man, did I really write that? And Matthew wrote a beautiful story of how hard it was to work with patients who were dying, and that he felt like the best service that he could do as the medical student was just be present with patients. And I really loved his story here. Too fast? Everybody finished? Alyssa, I'm not sure if you're here or not, but I think we all remember the very scary first day of rotation in the third year, and you're taking new third year students under your wing and shepherding them is a very good thing that you do for them. Anna, let's just forget about what you said in your essay. That dog is precious. Oh my goodness. I don't have to be the only one talking. If anybody else wants to chime in, feel free. You all can unmute yourselves.
I think, Sarah, one of the things that impresses me, you can keep rolling through, but one of the things that is a common theme as you look through is leadership, compassion, and striving to always do better. And I really applaud that for this year's class in particular, given the extreme challenges that I think all physicians have faced in the past 12, 14 months. And you guys have really done an outstanding job and kept great balance, and that 20 years from now, you're going to look back and say, this is, I went through school at a very unique time in history. And it's really quite remarkable to read to read through these and how many puppies there are. I couldn't have a puppy in medical school. It would have starved to death. So I think those are fun too. But you really, in all seriousness, should be congratulated on what you have accomplished thus far, and what no doubtedly will be a really impressive career in the future.
In this, I'm quoting student Dr. Rahman, and I apologize if I'm slaughtering your name. In this process, I've often gently reminded myself or a peer that a disgruntled patient might be scared or reacting to a blueprint of trauma. That's beautiful. It gives me chills to even say it out loud. Absolutely beautiful.
I think the other thing, gang, that impresses me is the wide variety of fields that you guys are all considering going in, from pediatrics to emergency medicine to palliative care. It just really demonstrates that the profession or the discipline doesn't matter as much as the way you approach medicine in general.
Tyler, I think you are here. And you sent me a couple of pictures to choose from. And I thought that your laughing in your new white coat at your own white coat ceremony was just a fantastic memory. And since we're having our white coat ceremony for the class of 2025 on Friday, I thought it would put me in a good white coaty kind of mood. Ethan, I thought hard about putting up the picture you sent me and Dr. Beatty when you took a break from CCA week because your wife had a baby. And so you took a day off and sent us a picture of Emma. I thought about putting that picture up, but then I thought, well, it would be the only kid that I put up and everybody would be so jealous. Ah, here's Charles. Welcome, Charles. We already made it past your picture, and I told everybody that you were saving people, and that's why you couldn't join us tonight. If we ever do this virtually again, we're definitely putting music over this, which would test my tech skills immensely. But I do have a 17-year-old son who could probably help me. Okay. Well, we have now made it through all 35 of our inductees today and read what they said in their essays, that the parts that I thought that gave me goosies, to quote Jennifer Lopez, not my personal idol, but she does talk about getting goosebumps. So next we have, I believe, I don't know, do you want to unmute yourselves and we can just make a cacophony of us reciting the Gold Humanism Honor Society oath? Would you prefer to just speak alone in your room, lip sync, sign it?
Let's do it as a big group.
Okay, everybody unmute. Guests or family, you don't have to, but everybody unmute. Okay.
There'll be lots of echo, so it'll sound like lots of people.
Okay, I will lead. I pledge by all that I hold dear as a physician.
I will care for my patients, compassion, respect, integrity, and clinical experience.
I will care for my patients.
My patients with a whole being.
I will listen to my patients with my whole being. I will advocate for the patient as a unique individual. I will serve as a role model and a mentor to promote humanism and healthcare. I will remember always the power of acts of caring. I will dedicate myself to joining with others to make healthcare optimal for all. Well, that was...
explain why I'm not allowed to sing in the car.
I just think that was a really bad idea, but it did give us something memorable, right? So we have now reached the end of our time together. And I just want to, when I was when I was nominated and by the students and inducted, I was a faculty member, but when I was inducted in 2017, it was honestly my proudest professional moment, without a doubt. Graduation was good. Chief resident year and, you know, having people think that I could handle that pressure was good. You know, a couple of jobs were good. Having patients tell me that I made a decision that improved their lives, that was good. But having people say that we think you belong in this society and we are going to put our thoughts behind you, it was the proudest moment of my life. So I hope that, while I doubt that this is the proudest moment of your lives, I hope you do feel good about what this indicates about who you are as people, who you are as professionals, who you are as my colleagues. You're already my colleagues. Soon you'll have that DO behind your name and then it's official. But I want you to feel really proud of yourselves for what you've achieved. This is huge. It's absolutely huge. So does anybody have anything to say? Does any of our inductees want to say anything? Maybe you're seeing a classmate that you haven't seen in a year or two on the screen and you just want to say, hey. So what I thought I would do now is, well, let me go ahead and ask Stephanie and Sydney, if I were to transfer the controls to you, I just feel like maybe you guys would like to have some conversation without the parents around. And so maybe the faculty will duck out and you guys can have whatever conversation you'd like to have. Does that sound appropriate? Stephanie, Sydney, anybody?
Yeah, that's okay if you just want to like transfer host.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
That's fine.
I think I can do that. I really do think I can do that. One moment,
I think
please.
so too.
Okay, hold on. How do I do this? Oh, I'm going to stop sharing. And then
And I'm driving, so that's why I'm on not video, just FYI.
who is that? Oh,
this is Sydney.
Oh,
Yes,
Sydney.
this is
Yes,
Sydney.
please. Yeah, I'm going to transfer. Tell you what, I'll transfer the control to Stephanie.
That works.
Can anybody
yes.
tell me how to do that? Anybody?
No.
Anybody? Closed caption, breakout rooms. And, oh, I don't want to end. Gosh darn it. Why is this so hard? Anybody know how to transfer?
Is there a way to look
Oh,
at
here
the
we go. I bet I go to
participants?
participants.
Yeah.
I go to participants. And
There you go.
then I pick Stephanie Abbott and
Dr. Parrott, while
yeah.
you are working on transferring, this is Dr. Beatty, everybody. I just wanted to extend another round of congratulations to all of our brand new Gold Humanism Honor Society students. It's a really cool accomplishment and something you should be very proud of. So great job tonight, everybody. I'm sorry we're not in person, but congratulations from the smiley one.
and and the smiley one has been a huge supporter of all of you and your class in general. She served on the selection committee, and while she's not a member of the society, I think that's wrong, and I think somebody somewhere should rectify that sometime in the future. And but she was such an important part of the selection that I did ask her to join us tonight, and I appreciate the fact that she was here. Stephanie, you now have the realms. I am leaving the meeting. I want to say goodbye to all of you. I'm proud of you. Take care.
Dr. Parrott, thank you.
Thank you.
Beatty, thank you. Dr. Schnartz, thank you. I will only take credit for hiring this team. So I hired the three of them and they are outstanding.
Which I think makes you a good
death.
leader. Hello.
I love them to death. So take care, guys. Congratulations.
Bye.